Hello there, this is Joseph Gray with DR Metrics. I'd like to take you through a tutorial on how to use the new lists feature in AdSphere. I'm going to go ahead and switch to our new dark mode for this demo. There it is. And I'm going to go ahead and run a report, ranking report in the system. Right now I'm running it for health and fitness, so just those specific brands are coming up. Now, let's say that this is an industry category that I'm researching, and I really want to understand where brands in this category are allocating media spend. You know, what are the most popular networks and day parts? What are if they're doing any sort of program targeting, what are the most popular programs? Where are these advertisers generating the best ROI? Now, as of November of this last year, I could pull up the entire category of health and fitness, and then I could drop down this network dialog, and I could export a report in Excel that would map all the dollars across the entire category, across every single brand into Excel. Here's the network Excel right here, and it would show me the ranking of the networks by dollar, the allocation of spend by network day part, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even at the program level. So it's a very powerful report. The problem is, let's say I only want to analyze the aggregated media spend of certain brands or certain advertisers, not the entire category and or subcategory. So this is where this new list feature is going to come in handy. So I'm going to go ahead and start selecting the brands that I want to include in my analysis. I just click these little check boxes here next to any of the brands that I want to include in this analysis. Now I can select up to 100. When I'm done, I can click Save List here and give my list a name. So since this is a list of brands, I'm going to call it Health and Fitness Brands, and I'm going to click Save. And I've just created my first list of brands. You can find that list under the Choose List dialog up here on the top right, and then you'll see there's a section for brand list and advertiser list. So I'm going to click brand list, and I expect to see the list I just created. I can click here and share it with my colleagues, those in my company that have access to AdSphere, and they would be able to find that under shared list in their profile on AdSphere. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to add additional brands or advertisers after the fact. So it's really nice to be able to use the ranking system, filter by category, get a group of prospect brands or advertisers into view, and then select the ones that you want. But there'll always be afterthoughts. I want to add this advertiser. I want to add that advertiser. So if you click the edit button here, you can open up that list that you just created. Now, this particular list is a brand list. So at the top of this dialog will be a list of all of the brands I've previously added to this list. And if I want to remove any of them, I can just click the little X button here and remove those specific brands. And if I want to add a brand, like let's say, for example, Miracle Ear, just going to search for anything with Miracle in it, for example. And, here they all are. I can grab my Miracle Ear. At that point, you can see it was added to the bottom of the list up top here. So now Miracle Ear is one of the brands. I can click Save. And in this fashion, you can go ahead and easily create a list and then add additional brands or advertisers to your list. Now, if I want to apply this list to the current ranking report, I just go ahead and open up the list of my choice and click Apply. And now this is added as yet another filter to the ranking system. And in this case, if I were to drop down the network dialog, and go ahead and click the Excel button, then I can create a mapping of the spend across all of those brands and do that multi-brand analysis that will save a lot of us so much time. And instead of having to go in and do the analysis brand by brand by brand, now we can just grab all the brands that we think are relevant and map all the spend in one quick report. I can go ahead and change any other filters as long as this selected list is applied. Again, only the data for those selected brands will appear. Now, I can also go ahead and reset the list here by clicking this blue Reset List button and remove that filter from the ranking system and go back to kind of the default report. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to toggle over to Advertiser Rankings, and we're going to create an advertiser list. So as before, once we have the view and all of the filters that are of interest to us, the date range, the brand classifications, English, Hispanic, creative categories, we have a nice list here. I'm going to start just grabbing all of the advertisers that I think I want to include in my media analysis here. And after I've selected the ones that I want, once again, I click Save List. I'm going to call this one Health and Fitness Advertisers. Click Save. Now I've created my first advertiser list. I can come over here on Choose List, drop down the advertiser list. Now, as before, if I mouse over here, I can see the different advertisers that we've added to this list. If I click Edit, it's exactly the same as before. I can delete advertisers from my list. I can add advertisers by searching for them. And anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply that advertiser list to advertiser rankings. And now we're seeing only those specific advertisers and all of their related brands and creatives. And again, if I drop down the network and network selector and click Excel, now I'm going to get that really nice report that's going to map the aggregated spend across all these advertisers, brands, and creatives. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to reset the list. I am going to do something a little different here. I'm going to go back to the default ranking report. And I'm going to apply a brand list to advertiser rankings. Just do that one more time, get all the categories represented. All right, so here's my default advertiser ranking report. If I come up here and I apply a brand list to advertiser rankings, what it's going to do is only include the nested brands that were on our list and their associated advertisers in the view. Conversely, I'm going to go ahead and reset that now. If I'm on brand rankings and I apply an advertiser list, it'll show all the brands that pertain to that group of advertisers, which can be very handy. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to brand rankings here. I'm going to apply, instead of the brand list, I'm going to apply the advertiser list and show you how that looks. A lot of flexibility here. Go ahead and apply the advertiser list here. And what it's going to do is it's going to show all of the brands for that group of advertisers ranked with the spend. And again, I can map all those dollars with a network Excel report, etc. Now, you may know that you can save these ranking reports and even have them emailed to you, which is a new feature that was introduced last November of 2019. When you save the filter, just know that the list that was applied is now part of that filter. And so the combination of being able to save filters, have these reports automatically emailed to you, and include these lists as part of the filter definition of that report, is going to just really provide a lot of different flexibility. So that's it for the list feature. You've seen dark mode. I want to thank you for watching.